90 plus 5 minutes, London Stadium. The corner comes in, bodies everywhere, the ball breaks, Callum Wilson turns it home. West Ham players are celebrating, the crowd is erupting. And in that single moment, Arsenal's entire season, every point, every battle, every late night, every drop moment recovered, all of it was hanging by a thread. The scoreboard said goal. The crowd believed it. West Ham believed it. For approximately 90 seconds, the Premier League title was slipping away from Arsenal in real time. Then the screen lit up. VAR review. Referee to the monitor. Chris Kavanagh walks over. He looks. He signals no goal. Foul on the goalkeeper. Direct free kick to Arsenal. The title probability, which had crashed from 88% down to 55%, the second that ball crossed the line, shot straight back up to 88% in seconds. Arsenal survived, but only just. And what happened in those 90 seconds at the London Stadium is exactly what this entire video is about. The moment everything nearly collapsed, 90 plus 5 minutes. The game is deep into stoppage time. Arsenal are leading. Callum Wilson scrambles home a corner at the London Stadium. The crowd erupts. West Ham players are celebrating. For a split second, it looked like everything Arsenal had built this season was about to be torn apart in the most brutal way possible. The Premier League Match Centre confirmed it officially. On that VAR review, the referee overturned the original decision of goal to West Ham United. The referee announcement read clearly, after review, West Ham number 19 commits a foul on the goalkeeper. Final decision is direct free kick. That is it. That is the moment. West Ham number 19, Pablo fouled David Raya. The goal was disallowed, Arsenal survived, and the implications of that single decision are enormous. Now, before we go deeper into the analysis, I want to pause here. If you are watching this channel for the first time and you want this level of detailed breakdown on every Arsenal story that matters, hit that subscribe button right now. This channel is built for serious Arsenal supporters who want more than just headlines. We go deeper, we analyse, we give you the full picture. Hit subscribe and make sure the bell notification is on so you never miss a video. Now let us go through everything that happened, reaction by reaction, fact by fact. What the Premier League confirmed. The first thing to establish is the official record. The Premier League Match Centre posted the VAR overturn at 7:36 in the evening. The announcement was clear and precise. West Ham number 19, who is Pablo, committed a foul on the goalkeeper. The decision was a direct free kick. That is the official ruling. That is the confirmed fact. Everything else you will hear today, all the debate, all the reactions, all the opinions must be measured against that official confirmation. The goal was disallowed. Arsenal kept their lead. Arsenal won the match, and with 2 games left in the Premier League season, the title picture shifted dramatically in Arsenal's favour. The Polymarket title probability swing. Now here is something that puts the weight of that moment into pure numbers. The data from Polymarket, shared widely after the match, showed the following. Arsenal's title probability going into that moment stood at 88%. The second Callum Wilson's effort crossed the line and was given as a goal. That probability crashed. It did not dip. It crashed down to 55% in seconds. That is a 33 percentage point collapse in Arsenal's title chances in the time it took for the ball to hit the net and the referee to point to the centre circle. Seconds later, VAR intervened. The goal was ruled out and the probability shot straight back up to 88%. This is not a story about one goal. This is a story about how close the entire season came to unravelling in a single moment. 33 percentage points. In seconds, that is the reality of what was on the line, what Darren Can said and why it matters. Now, the debate began immediately after the final whistle. Was the right call made? This is where the voice of Darren Can becomes important. Can is a former Premier League referee. He is not a pundit guessing from the sofa. He is someone who has officiated at the highest level and understands the laws of the game in precise technical detail. Speaking to BBC Sport, Can was clear and direct. He said it is a foul by Pablo, holding Raya'S arm and clearly impeding Raya. Also, he is having his shirt pulled by Todibo as well. Unfortunately, I know it is a shame for West Ham, given the timing of the game, but it is a foul. That is the bottom line. Let me read that final part again, because it is the most important sentence. The arm is across Raya from Pablo, but crucially, he is holding Raya'S arm. He is not going to punch the ball. He is trying to catch it. The fact he has an arm on the keeper means he cannot catch it. And he is clearly impeded. The word Can used was crucially, and that word is significant because there is a difference between a body being near a goalkeeper and a hand actively holding a goalkeeper's arm. Raya was not just crowded. He was physically held. He could not get up and claim the ball because his arm was being restrained. That is the distinction that made this a clear foul in the eyes of a former match official. The BBC Match of the Day account shared this analysis publicly, asking viewers whether they agreed with Can. And the reality is, based on the technical detail Can provided, the VAR decision holds up firmly under scrutiny. What Owen Hargreaves added to the conversation, Owen Hargreaves gave his reaction as well, and it aligned completely with Can's assessment. Hargreaves said, "We have spoken about set pieces all this season. Look at all the bodies on David Raya. I feel sorry for West Ham, but the goalkeeper is having his arm pulled down. He cannot get up and claim the ball. Two separate analysts, two separate observations, same conclusion. Raya was impeded. The goal was correctly disallowed. And Arsenal's win stands without any legitimate controversy from a technical standpoint." What Mikel Arteta said after the final whistle, Mikel Arteta's post-match comments are something every Arsenal supporter needs to hear. Speaking to Sky Sports, Arteta described it as a roller coaster of emotions. He acknowledged that West Ham were fighting for their lives while Arsenal were fighting to win the Premier League. He said there was so much at stake. He praised Martin Odegaard for his action with Leandro Trossard that led to the winning goal. He highlighted David Raya's one-on-one save as incredible, and then he addressed the disallowed goal directly. He said, with the disallowed goal, I have been critical in the past, but I have to congratulate them, the officials. You need that correction and bravery. There is no question it was a foul. This is significant. Arteta has had very public disagreements with referees in the past. For him to stand in front of cameras after the most tense match of Arsenal's season and congratulate the officials for their bravery is a meaningful statement. He is not politicking. He is acknowledging the difficulty of what those officials had to do and crediting them for getting it right. It's at a separate press conference moment, Arteta went even further and reflected on the weight of refereeing decisions at this level. He said, "Probably today I have realised how difficult and how big the referee's job is." Because you are talking about a moment. I can decide them the history, the course of two massive clubs that are fighting with their lives to achieve their objectives. The pressure is huge. That level of empathy from a manager in the middle of a title race is rare, and it tells you something about where Arteta's mindset is right now. Calm, composed and clear-headed. What Trossard told us about the dressing room atmosphere. Leandro Trossard was the match winner. He scored the goal that ultimately secured Arsenal's victory. And his post-match comments give us a window into what the mood was inside the squad when that Wilson goal went in. Trossard revealed, "David said straight away, 100% it has to be no goal, so I had faith in him, but you are always concerned." When the referee made his decision, it was pure relief, but we still had to dig in for a couple of minutes, and I'm so glad we got the win. That detail about Raya immediately telling his teammates it was not a valid goal is important. It tells you this is a goalkeeper with confidence and composure. He did not panic. He did not wait to see what VAR said. He communicated straight away. That kind of calm in a crisis situation is exactly what you need from your last line of defence in a title race. Trossard also said, "When I scored, it was pure joy because we knew we had to win today. We know what they are fighting for as well, and it was a tough ground to come to. Today was a great time for me to score and get the win today. It is another 2 games to go, and hopefully there is something nice waiting for us." He did not get carried away. He acknowledged the difficulty of the ground they were playing on. He acknowledged what West Ham are fighting for, and he stayed focused on the task ahead. 2 games left. Arsenal need to win them. What Rio Ferdinand and the Arsenal community said, Rio Ferdinand, who has no reason to be generous with Arsenal given his background, posted this after the match. He said, "People underestimate the value of Trossard. Big moments when Arsenal have needed a goal over the last couple of years, he has stepped up. Quietly just goes about his business." That is a former Manchester United captain publicly acknowledging the importance of a player who often goes under the radar, and Ferdinand is right. Trossard is not the most talked about name at Arsenal. He is not the one on the magazine covers every week. But when it matters, when the season is on the line, he delivers. The Hand of Arsenal fan account captured the mood of the support base when it posted, "The whole world was watching and waiting for us to fall." Mikel Arteta's Arsenal stepped up and collected all 3 points. This is a different Arsenal, a poised one, a composed one, and one ready to make history. 25,000 likes on that post, 5,000 reposts. The Arsenal community felt this one deeply, and the language of that post, poised, composed, ready to make history, reflects something real about how this squad has grown. David Raya and the Golden Glove, here is something that deserves its own moment in this analysis. The Premier League officially announced David Raya as the 2025-26 Coca-Cola Golden Glove winner. His tally of 18 clean sheets this season cannot be matched by any other goalkeeper in the division. 18 clean sheets in a single Premier League season. That is the foundation on which Arsenal's title challenge has been built. Think about that. While the attackers and the midfielders get the headlines, Raya has been keeping the door shut all season long. 18 times. And then in the 90+5th minute of one of the biggest matches of the campaign, he made a one-on-one save that Arteta himself described as incredible. This is a goalkeeper at the peak of his powers. A Golden Glove winner who also delivers when the pressure is at its absolute highest. That combination is extraordinarily rare. What Arteta got right. Tactically, Conor Hum, a respected tactical analyst in the Arsenal space, gave a detailed breakdown of Arteta's in-game decision-making during the match. And it is worth going through because it shows the level of management that is happening behind the scenes. Hum noted that Arteta's initial decision to play Declan Rice at right-back was wrong. Arteta himself appeared to recognise that quickly and corrected it by bringing on Mosquera. He then substituted the substitute in Zubimendi because the performance was not at the required level. He brought on Martin Odegaard, who changed the match, and the substitution of Madueke for Saka was described as positive. Hum summarised it with one word: unbelievable management. The willingness to correct a mistake mid-game, to substitute a player who was only just brought on, to make bold calls in a match where the consequences of getting it wrong were enormous. That is elite management. That is the kind of flexibility and courage that separates good managers from great ones. Espirito Santo said for West Ham, it is only fair that we give space to the West Ham perspective. Nuno Espirito Santo spoke after the match and his comments were measured, honest and reflective. He said, even the referees do not know what is or is not a foul, so it creates a lot of doubt and speculation around it. That is a manager who is frustrated but not making wild accusations. He is acknowledging the grey area that exists around goalkeeper protection calls in football. He continued by saying his team made a very good match, that he liked the attitude and character and belief, and that they had a very good chance in Mateus Fernandez's saved effort before the disallowed goal. He ended with, we wanted to win the game, we lost the game, it is finished now, and we have to fight until the last second. That last line carries weight. West Ham are still fighting, their season is not over, and they will go into their remaining fixtures needing results. The drama at the London Stadium today reminded everyone that survival battles are just as intense and just as emotional as title races. Arsene Wenger's reaction and what it means. Arsene Wenger, the man who managed Arsenal for over 2 decades and knows this club more intimately than almost anyone alive, gave his reaction after the final whistle. Wenger said, once again, I would say it is the defence who did the job today. This could be a decider for the championship. This is Arsenal's greatest modern manager, acknowledging that the foundation of this result was defensive, not the goal, not the attacking quality, the defence. That tells you something powerful about the identity of this Arsenal squad. They are built from the back, they are organised, they are disciplined. And on the day that mattered most, the defence held firm. Wenger's use of the phrase, a decider for the championship, is significant too. He is not just calling it a good win, he is framing it as a potentially history-making result. A man of Wenger's experience does not use that language lightly. The CBS Sports Galazzo comparison. CBS Sports Galazzo drew a comparison that hit differently in the context of Arsenal's title history. They placed 2 images side by side. The first was labelled 2023-24, Stefan Ortega's title-saving save for Manchester City. The second was labelled 2025-26, David Raya'S potential title-saving save for Arsenal. Those who remember what happened in the 2023-24 season will know how painful that Stefan Ortega's save was in the context of Arsenal's title hopes. For CBS to draw that parallel and for it to now be Arsenal on the right side of a title-saving moment is deeply meaningful. History does not always repeat, but sometimes it offers a correction. And this moment, Raya saving one-on-one at the London Stadium may well be Arsenal's version of that Ortega save, except this time it goes in Arsenal's favour. I aim right's bold declaration. I aim right, Arsenal's all-time record goal scorer for many years and someone who loves this club with every part of his being, made a bold declaration on Sky Sports before the match. He said, if Arsenal can lift the Premier League trophy, let us face it, they should do it. This team could go down as probably the best in Arsenal's history. I would not think about what it is like if they do not do it. Let that sit for a moment. Probably the best in Arsenal's history. That is not a throwaway comment from Ian Wright. That is a deeply considered statement from a man who played in some great Arsenal sides and watched every great Arsenal side since. If this squad wins the Premier League title, Wright believes they belong in the conversation as the greatest in the club's history. 2 games left. The evidence Wright is basing that on is the entire season's body of work. And after today, after surviving the London Stadium in the manner they did, it is very difficult to argue with his reasoning. The Opta data and the winning streak, Opta Joe confirmed after the final whistle that Arsenal have now won each of their last 3 Premier League games. That makes them the team with the longest active winning streak in the English top flight. The word Opta used was squeaky, and yes, this latest win was squeaky. But 3 wins in a row at this stage of the season, when every match carries the weight of a potential title, is a significant achievement. The winning streak statistic also tells you something about mentality. Teams that cannot handle pressure do not win 3 in a row when the stakes are this high. Arsenal are winning when they have to. They are not always winning beautifully. Sometimes they are winning the hard way, but they are winning. And in a title race, that is all that matters. Ben White and the injury concern. There is one shadow over the celebration today, and it is a significant one. Ben White left the London Stadium in a knee brace after sustaining an injury in the first half of the match. That is confirmed. He was seen walking through the tunnel area in an Arsenal tracksuit with a visible knee brace on his right leg. The timing of this could not be worse. 2 games left in the season. Arsenal need every available player performing at maximum capacity. White's injury status will need to be monitored closely in the days ahead. The nature and severity of what happened to his knee is not confirmed beyond what is visible in the images from the ground. But the sight of a key defensive player leaving in a brace is a concern that cannot be overlooked. Wayne Rooney's analysis and what it tells us. Wayne Rooney gave a detailed assessment of this Arsenal side, and it is worth examining carefully because it comes from someone who has competed at the very highest level of the game. Rooney said he sees a proper football team when he watches Arsenal. He described the coaching as being at the very highest level. He said every single player understands his role. He used the word machine. He used the word programme. He described Arsenal as so compact, so organised, so disciplined that you almost stop seeing individuals and start seeing a system. Rooney also addressed the critics who call Arsenal boring or robotic. His response was direct. He called it elite. He called it winning football. He said there is a reason teams struggle to break Arsenal down. There is a reason Arsenal control matches the way they do, and none of it happens by accident. He also made a personal admission that matters. He backed Arsenal from the start of the season to win the league, and people laughed at him. People told him Manchester City would walk it. People said Arsenal would bottle it again. His response to those people after today's result was simply that they are not laughing now. And he asked that people start respecting this Arsenal side properly because what they are doing is special. Rooney is a Manchester United man. His admiration for this Arsenal side is not tribal loyalty. It is a genuine football assessment from someone who understands what elite teams look like, and he is saying this Arsenal team fits that description. The bigger picture, what this all means. Let us step back from the individual moments and look at the complete picture. What happened at the London Stadium today was not just a football match. It was a test of character, composure and belief at the highest possible level. Arsenal went to a ground where the home side needed points desperately. They faced a late goal that could have shattered their title dreams. They needed VAR to get a decision right under enormous pressure. They needed their goalkeeper to make a title-saving save. They needed their manager to make bold tactical changes in the middle of a pressure cooker atmosphere. And they needed a player who often goes unnoticed to step up and score the winning goal. Every single one of those things happened exactly as Arsenal needed them to. That is not luck. That is a club that has built something real. The title probability may have crashed to 55% for a few seconds, but the people in Arsenal's dressing room did not let it crash in the most important place in the mind, in the belief, in the conviction that they are the best team in England this season. 2 games remain. The evidence says Arsenal deserve to win this league. The facts of today's match say they have the mentality to see it through. Closing thoughts. This was a historic afternoon. It was uncomfortable, dramatic, and at moments truly frightening for Arsenal supporters everywhere. But the club came through it. The manager came through it. The players came through it. And the officials, under the most intense scrutiny imaginable, made the right call. David Raya wins the Golden Glove with 18 clean sheets and makes a one-on-one save that may go down in Arsenal folklore. Leandro Trossard scores a winning goal that Rio Ferdinand called understated genius. Mikel Arteta makes bold mid-game corrections and praises the officials for their bravery. And the entire Arsenal nation takes one more step towards the moment they have waited over 2 decades to feel again. 2 games left, the road is there, the team is there, the moment is there. This is Melissa, Arsenal analyst. If you found this breakdown useful, subscribe to this channel and leave a comment below telling me your moment of the match today. Was it Raya'S save, the VAR decision, Trossard's goal, or something else entirely? Stay locked in. The title is coming home.